respected Professor Garg, Professor P.K. Singh, Dr. Sujata Bansal, respected Shri Bhojraj Singh Ji, Mrs. Swaraj Singh Ji, Vivek Singh Ji, Madam Saab, Reva Mishra Ji, other distinguished guests and participants in this meetup on Social Good Summit organized by the Marshall and United Nations. As has been mentioned by Sri Vivek Singh Ji and the previous speakers about the theme and the objectives of this summit which we are having, and it has been mentioned that this summit is being organized in more than 120 nations, and there is a support from the United Nations bodies, and therefore it is a forum to discuss various global problems and their solutions, and to make this world better and to have a better tomorrow through community interaction, through community participation and various other means. The focus is on new technology and new media and how these can create solutions for the biggest problems facing my community and create a better future by the year 2030. So there is a target also, target year, that is 2030. So about 17 years to go ahead for this, to achieve the various objectives which are there. My dear friends, when we discuss on this aspect, perhaps we have to think that what are the major problems or the biggest problems which the world is facing, and that involves ourselves also. We are aware there are problems related to environmental degradation, there are problems related to terrorism, there are problems about poverty, there are problems related with the employability or unemployment, and there are problems related to various intolerance and related to social harmony or communal harmony, etc., etc. The world is facing all these problems. So perhaps we have to discuss these problems and to suggest some solutions on these aspects. I'm aware that the focus today the United Nations is having, and there is an international decade which is still going on, which was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in 2005, and that is the international decade for education on sustainable development, and that decade would be over in 2014. And through that decade, the United Nations given a program to all the nations and the member nations of the United Nations to initiate the various ways and means and procedures in the higher education institutions for education for sustainable development. Recently, I had an opportunity to participate in the meeting of the Indian National Commission for Cooperation with UNESCO at New Delhi, in which besides the Honorable Minister of HRD and the bureaucrats of different ministries, the director, regional director of UNESCO, and the director of newly created Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Peace and Sustainable Development, they participated, and there were some members of that commission, which includes some of the vice chancellors, 5 vice chancellors, including the vice chancellor of Devi Vishwavidyalaya. And there was discussion on various aspects, and it was shared that the UNESCO has decided to promote education for peace and sustainable development. And through University Grants Commission, it will be written to all the Vice Chancellors, the directives to initiate the various courses related to education on peace and sustainable development. And now we can think over what is the need to have such an education on peace and sustainable development. And then we will have to go back and see that what was the vision of our forefathers and the great leaders, the visionary leaders, Indian leaders, and why is that the United Nations decided to have the birthday of our Mahatma Gandhi, the Rashtrapita, the father of the nation, to celebrate or to observe at the International Day for Non-Violence. And therefore, what I feel is that the various global problems or the challenges which the world is facing today, the solution lies in the vision which India has given earlier. That is the vision of universal values, to promote universal values such as peace, non-violence, truth, righteous conduct, and love. That is the vision of, again, tolerance. And therefore, we have to look back and perhaps to promote the value-based education and various professional ethics which are needed today. Technology, yes, important, but the brain behind technology, the heart behind technology is also very important. So as an educationist, I feel that there is a need to strike a balance between the head, heart, and hand. Nowadays, the whole education system is focusing on the mental or intellectual development of the personality of the learners. But our vision has been, from the very beginning, whether it has been the vision of the Swami Vivekananda, where it has been the vision given by the great Pandit Madhavan Malviya ji, or our Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan ji, the vision is for the holistic development of the personality of the learners. And the UNESCO talks about the holistic development of the personality of learners, that includes the physical development, the mental or intellectual development, the psychological development, and also the spiritual development. The WHO, while talking about the holistic health also includes these aspects. So we have to have a focus on the holistic development of the personality of the learners. And then again, to have a right balance or blending of knowledge, skills, and values in our education system. And therefore, as I mentioned, that we should have a balance between the head, heart, and hand. Then only we can have a vision, long-term solutions in mind. We can have this peace education and sustainable development to train our young minds how to live peacefully. When we talk of peace, I think peace is internal peace. Then only we have internal peace, then only we can have the external peace. And then to have these types of peace, perhaps another requirement is to have eternal peace. Eternal peace is the guiding force behind the internal peace and the external peace. And that peace brings happiness to our life. And so perhaps we have to think on these aspects while we are discussing about the technology and to have a better world tomorrow in the times to come. And the whole United Nations bodies and other bodies worldwide are now thinking towards this direction. I am happy that I was not knowing about the the organization which is there active in Indore itself, and Science of Global Peace through Happiness. I congratulate the organizers for having this meetup program here, and I can see the young faces who are here who can have better tomorrow with their efforts and with their technological advancement and input, and contribute in the long term and sustained peace and harmony, and to have a better globe with us. Thank you very much.